Hello, this is Aaron with AZ Garden Challenge. Thanks for watching another episode. Today we're going to talk about irrigation. It's really hot right now in Arizona, if you haven't noticed. And what a better topic to discuss than irrigation. I just want to take a few minutes to show you my system here. A quick little caveat, this is probably the longest video I will produce in a while. I try to keep this video short to under 5 minutes, but sometimes we just got to take a little bit longer because it's so important. So I tried to trim this down as much as I could, but I also wanted to give you as much information as I could give you because I know irrigation, especially here in Arizona, is so important. So here we go. So we'll start here with the irrigation system, and the first piece is just a regular outside faucet, outside spigot, and then we come straight into the vacuum breaker. And this piece is important because if there is any change in pressure or there's a vacuum that's created on this side of the system, on this back side of the system, then this keeps water from being sucked up through the irrigation system, potentially bringing any contaminants into the house system, water system. So this little vacuum breaker piece is important to have on there. We go from this into the splitter, and the splitter has a couple shutoff valves here so I can control the water pressure and shut off water going to either of these. This top one, the hose, this is just a utility hose that can be used for just about anything, and right now it's shut off. And then this bottom piece goes into my irrigation system for the garden. Now looking at it from this side, again, the water, vacuum breaker, splitter, and then this comes down into my timer. The timer is an Orbit brand, and I like these for a couple reasons. They seem to last a long time as long as you take care of them. They're relatively inexpensive, and for the type of garden I have, it seems to, all these preset and timing settings really fit my needs right now. If things were to get more complicated with my garden, then I need to develop some other timer system. But this works for now. A couple things, this will crack when it freezes. So for those of us in Phoenix, the 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a year it freezes, we got to cover this or just take it off and bring it inside to protect it. Also, this LCD screen will be damaged in direct sunlight, so protect it from freezing and protect it from direct sunlight. The batteries also last a long time in this, and as I said, the settings it has work just well for what I have going on now. So it comes down here into the timer, into the hose, garden hose, and I recommend getting a heavy duty garden hose, and that'll take the heat much better with the direct sunlight on it. And then you run it from here, you run it over into your garden bed. And you can see here mine loops around right there, and then it comes into the garden right here. So here I just have a little adapter from the hose to the 1/2-inch poly, and then I have this elbow going up. I like these universal elbows because they seem to last a long time, and you can use it with different types of 1/2-inch or 5/8 poly. So this just shoots it right up, and another one right over into the garden. And then what I have is I just run this 1/2-inch poly all the way across this edge of the garden. You can see it right there. Down through the A's of plants. And then I just end it, cap it off with an end cap. Now I want to show you how I get water in the garden. So this 1/2-inch poly coming from the hose gets water to the garden. Now what I've set up is this 1/4-inch poly attached to this 1/2-inch poly, and right here you'll see a coupling. It's a 1/4-inch coupling, so this goes into the 1/2-inch, and then you connect the 1/4-inch
on the other side of it. And what I have is these are spaced out every, I forget what it was, about 8.5 inches or so, all the way across the garden. And so that gives me pretty even coverage. And what I really like about this 1/4-inch poly, I got the ones that have the emitters built into them. So they're plugged in, already pre-built in every 12 inches. Now if I had to do this again, I would do it 6 inches, because the 6-inch gets better coverage on the garden. You can kind of see here how it gets good coverage to about here, and then there's a gap, and it starts up again right over in here. And so it sit with the emitters spaced every 6 inches. That wouldn't happen. You'd get even coverage of water all the way across, and that's really a better way to go. All right, so you have the hose coming from your water source. You have the 1/2-inch poly running on that side of the garden bed. Now, and then you have the 1/4-inch poly with the emitters built in every 12 inches coming to this side of the garden bed. And then at the end, you just cap them off. And these are little 1/4-inch, some call them goof plugs, or end caps or end plugs. But essentially they just plug into the end there. You just snip the 1/4-inch here, plug it in there, and then that finishes off your system. And you do that with all of these. Here's another one here, and another one here. So you just run them straight across the bed this way, pin them down with a little stake. They make plastic stakes for these, and then you've got a really good system. Here you can see the irrigation system when I first installed it. On the right side of the garden, you see the 1/2-inch poly, which has that blue stripe on it. And then off of that, you see the 1/4-inch going out into the garden from one side to the other. And that has the inline emitters every 12 inches. And this other picture, you can see how I planted the carrots and the beets just right off of that. And it seemed to work pretty well for me. So here is the list of supplies for my system. A good place to start for yours as you design yours. Now you could save some money if you already have some of these items laying around. So for example, a hose, or if a neighbor or a friend already has some drip line you could use, that would work just as well. But I hope this helps as you begin to design your own system.
So there it is, a breakdown of the irrigation system. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Again, feel free to shoot me questions or comments in the box below, and I'll do my best to answer those and engage. Please join me next time. I want to show you some of the things that I've actually been doing with the produce from my garden. So smoothies that we've been making, dinners we've made, salads, pickles with the cucumbers, and stuff like that. Stay tuned for the next episode of AZ Garden Challenge. Again, I'm Aaron. Thanks for watching. See you next time.